With me now are Pleasant Grove business owner Robert Milligan, Assistant City Manager A.C. Gonzalez, and Oak Cliff business owner Joyce Foreman. Thank you all so very much for joining me. We are continuing to discuss economic development in District 5. And since we have two pieces of that district, I've asked the Pleasant Grove piece and the Oak Cliff district piece to be here with me. Mr. Gonzalez, you have been very helpful in talking with me about the kinds of businesses we're able to bring to District 5. Talk with me a little bit about that.
I believe there's really going to be a lot of opportunities as we develop more of the area that we have associated with IPOD, the International Inland Port, also the University of Dallas that's developing in the area. But we're also looking into taking advantage of assets that have been there for years, like the VA, which actually have a substantial amount of business that is going on there, but really hasn't been translated into retail, other upper-end housing, etc. We also are identifying various other strips that we are now seeing as being needing of improvement and seeing how we can tear those down and refresh them. So there's a lot of opportunities that we feel are going to be developed in this district, both in terms of housing and retail development.
And Ms. Foreman, those opportunities do have something to do with demographics. You have been in Oak Cliff for many years. You have had your own business for many years. How do the demographics play a role in the new development possibilities that Mr. Gonzalez has articulated here?
Well, thank you, Councilwoman Hill. Yes, I have been in the Oak Cliff area for probably about 40 years in the same neighborhood. And one of the things that I've watched in that neighborhood is the fact that the demographics are changing. And a lot of the middle income, particularly African Americans, are moving to the southern sector suburbs. And therefore, we're losing the median income housing. And one of the things that we've done through the years is talk about how we want low and moderate housing, and I think we need to shift on that. I've also looked at the fact that the retail and the business development in the areas have not been to the standards that I'd like to see, because at some point we have to make sure that the southern sector starts to carry their weight in terms of business development. And we have not been able to facilitate that through the last few years. And I'm hoping that with your leadership and the City of Dallas's staff, that we start to look at how do we get more businesses developed in District 5 and throughout the whole southern sector.
And getting the businesses developed, particularly in Pleasant Grove, Mr. Milligan, has certainly been a challenge. What are some of the challenges that we face in Pleasant Grove, and how can we overcome those in bringing significant retail development there?
Pleasant Grove, Southeast Dallas and South Dallas both, they have, we have tremendous opportunity. We have the schools, we have the population, we have the new college. We need to develop with Southern Dallas and Southeast Dallas, we need to develop a master plan and start identifying areas for the larger companies to come in. For example, restaurants. The restaurants, when we've talked to some of the large developing groups that do the Olive Gardens and the Chili's or the TGI Fridays, they're not coming to our area without the ability to get alcohol sales within their establishment and make it part of a dining experience. Not liquor stores on the street, but we really need to look at identifying an area, new construction, sit-down, restaurant development, much like Mesquite did. They're very successful. So I think that would be one of the ways, because we have people that, we have 295,000 people that are going to Mesquite to eat.
And we certainly do not want the district to get the misimpression that we're talking about putting liquor stores on the corner, because definitely we are not. When we talk about alcohol, we're talking about as part of a dining experience in a private facility. So we want the district to be very clear on that. I know that the three of you have talked among yourselves about how to bring quality economic development to District 5. Why don't you talk just a bit among yourselves about that, and let the district hear some of the things that y'all have shared with me in the last few weeks or so.
Well, since I've been the one doing the most talking, I'll continue to do that. One of the things, and AC, you know, you and I and Robert have talked about it, is that the District 5 has suffered from infrastructure, which has been prohibitive to bringing in some businesses, and now I believe the City of Dallas is trying to do something to change that infrastructure problem, and as we both know, that's needed.
Absolutely. The City of Dallas has really made a significant turnaround in its appreciation for the need to invest in itself. Over the last couple of bond programs, there's been numerous dollars that have been identified to redevelop the infrastructure. Beyond that, it's even gone to the point of identifying fairly significant amounts of dollars to be used specifically for public-private partnerships. There was $40 million that was put aside just for that purpose. Also, strategies like the use of TIF, tax increment finance zones, are being used more intelligently in terms of being able to put signature projects in place that will cast off increment that will actually bring about improvements that are needed, like those that you're mentioning.
And Mr. Gonzalez, those will also touch Pleasant Grove, is that correct?
Yes, we are seeing the opportunity for investment now to be placed in areas south of the Trinity at levels that we never have in the past.
And Mr. Milligan, I know you've worked with some business owners who are interested in bringing the types of restaurants and businesses that I'm interested in.
Yes, Councilwoman Hill, AC and I were talking about that, Mr. Gonzalez and I were talking about that earlier, and the development has started, and we know of some large projects that are coming in District 5, 25-acre new shopping center projects that are now in process, and we know that the northern end of Wagner Boulevard has a 25-acre project, and we know the catalyst for that was United Equities in the center of the mainstream Pleasant Grove area. So.
And we will continue with these kinds of developments and this conversation throughout the district, because we're determined to bring quality economic development to District 5, and with the help of you three and people like you who are committed to the district, we will make it. Thank you all so much for coming and visiting with me this afternoon.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today to talk about economic development in District 5. We are determined to bring quality retail to this district. We are here to make a difference, believing that together we can make a difference. For more information, you may contact me, Vonciel Jones Hill, Councilwoman for District 5. Our telephone number is 214-670-0777, and I'll see you next time on Dallas Delivers District 5 Update.